on this one, seeing as how October was Cybersecurity Awareness Month. But I'm going to kick off November here with a couple tips this week that we can use kind of in our everyday lives to help us kind of avoid running into problems while browsing the web or using our computers related to security. So let's go through these quick 4 tips. And then later this week, I'm going to expand on some of these as well as present a couple new ones. So the first one is to turn off your PC. Now, a lot of the time when we think back, most people would say, it damages your PC to turn it off. Just keep it running constantly, all the time. Just leave it on, right? We have our energy settings and all this type of stuff. The fact of the matter is, your threat for being attacked when your PC is off might as well be 0. Your safest PC state, okay, is off. Now, when you go to bed, you're not going to be using your PC when you're sleeping through the night, so I suggest turning it off. If we turn off our PC, that's the first thing we can do to kind of protect ourselves when we're away from that computer. Second thing, which is an overlooked one, is we all like having our admin accounts, and I mean an administrator account on your Windows PC or on your Mac, which is great, right? It almost makes us feel good, and we can install software without a problem and so on and so forth. But in lies the issue, and that is that if we are browsing the web as an administrator, then programs can get installed with or without our permission. It really kind of depends. So don't browse as an administrator. You could actually set up a user account for yourself to use your computer. When you do administrative tools like adding in, installing additional software, sure, switch the user login as admin. So don't browse the web as an admin. Again, this is something we'll expand on later this week. Third one is talking about backups. Now, some of you may or may not have heard about people essentially holding their data ransom. So if someone were to attack my computer, and I have my backups on an external USB drive, let's say, or a series of drives, well, if someone attacks my computer, they can then encrypt all of my data that's connected to my PC and essentially ransom it to me. So if I pay the ransom, I get the data back, or maybe I don't, right? This is not a good situation. So nowadays, when we have so many different tools available to us to back up offsite away from our PC, we really should use it, because those are really safer than the drives attached to our computer. I know it's kind of weird to think of. We're always kind of concerned putting our data online or in a cloud storage. But if I think about it, data stored directly to my computer can be held for ransom. Plus, natural disasters, things like that, things can go wrong with your backup. So backup offsite. And lastly, and this is a big one, a lot of us already know it, avoid public Wi-Fi. If I go to my local coffee house and I log into the Wi-Fi network, and then I start logging into other services like my social media stuff, Facebook, YouTube, email accounts, well, the fact of the matter is someone in a car outside or someone sitting next to me could really be sniffing that data. So all the data that I'm sending has to go through that router that they're providing, and other people can see that information potentially. So that is not a good scenario. So for the basic user, we would want to avoid that public Wi-Fi. For a slightly more advanced user, we can use things like VPNs to help make this a little bit more secure of a situation. We'll talk about a VPN in an upcoming video. VPN is virtual private network. The other thing to consider is if you're at a hotel, right? You're visiting a hotel and they have Wi-Fi. Well, they might have certain security measures in place, and it always doesn't hurt to ask. We can always ask what type of security they have. Just if we have to use the available public Wi-Fi, then we want to make sure it is secure. I don't want to use it on something that's really just a wide open network. So those are a couple tips just to keep in mind for the basic user of how to stay safe when we're browsing the web or even at home with your regular PC. And this week we'll be expanding on some of these lessons as well as talking about a few other ones.